With the 15th anniversary of Minecraft and its recent 1.21 update, I've seen a wave of new players, many of them adults, joining the community to discover how a ragtag indie game had the staying power to become a decade-and-a-half global phenomenon. But for all its charm and potential, the same sandbox style that grants it such appeal can also be a double-edged sword, with a huge learning curve for an inexperienced player. If that's you, you're in the right place, and welcome to Minecraft CavesNotes. The goal of this series is to create a library of easy-to-digest guides for understanding the basics of the Minecraft world. Things like how monsters spawn, what types of terrain and friendly creatures exist, types of movement and travel, and the physics of a world where stone stays put in midair and water can be replicated. Welcome back to Minecraft CavesNotes. I'm Emerald Dragoon, and if you've been here before, you probably know that we've talked about some crafting, but not mining yet. And since the name of the game is Minecraft, we'd better fix that. Now, I do have to start by pointing out that there's actually a lot to say about mining, so I'm going to limit today's video to just a few early topics, like pickaxe types, an overview of ores and where to find them, and how to safely and efficiently start a mine. Things like underground structures and cave biomes will go into a follow-up video, possibly called something like deeper mining or some such. And for blocks and ore types found in the game's other dimensions, we'll save those for when we get to those places. For now, we're focused on the early game in the overworld. So enough intro. Why am I standing here on this mountaintop? Well, that's because our goal right now is to move from the Stone Age to the Iron Age. And if you so happen to stumble across a biome like this one, the Stony Peaks, that goal is only minutes away. That's because Stony Peaks is one of the places where iron and coal can be easily found exposed on the surface, making it super easy to grab everything you need to upgrade your entire kit to the next level. But then again, maybe you've settled down in a cherry grove or a savanna. So, let's talk about the different types of overworld ores and what kind of equipment you need to collect them. Alright, before you say anything, I know that's a shovel, not a pickaxe. But listen, when you do go mining, it's worth bringing a shovel, because there are other blocks that you will likely want to dig. So most commonly underground, you will find pockets of dirt and gravel. When you dig gravel with a shovel, there's a chance that you get flint instead of gravel. Likewise, if you run across clay blocks will drop clay balls, or just clay for short, when it's mined. And then, although you're not going to find it typically deep underground, if you do start in a sandier area, you may have sand or red sand to get through. So one important note when it comes to mining is that the type of pickaxe does matter. The material your pickaxe is made out of is going to determine whether or not you actually receive a drop from a block. Any blocks that can be dug with a shovel or chopped with an axe will still drop when you punch them with your fist. However, that rule does not hold true when it comes to mining. Gold may seem like a rare material and super useful, but the reality is gold in real life is pretty soft. So the durability and the level, if you will, of a gold pickaxe is actually only equivalent to the very basic wood pickaxe. These two pickaxes can pick up coal, andesite, diorite, granite, deep slate, tuff, and sandstone and red sandstone. Ore blocks will look like either stone or deep slate, with some splotches of another color mixed in. On the outer edges here, we actually have full blocks of coal. These are rare, but can occasionally be found around coal deposits. Most of the time, you'll see the deep slate or stone variations of the ore. In the case of coal, You're far more likely to see it with stone because coal tends to generate higher up in the world. When it is mined, coal will not drop a block, it will drop an item, such as the piece in the center. As far as where to find this, the best place to look is in positive Y values, usually around the surface level or up in the mountains. Deep slate is a block that tends to occur around level 0 and below. There is a transition zone of a few blocks where it may occur at positive Y values. Deep slate, like stone, when mined normally will drop deep slate cobblestone instead of its own block. Moving on to the stone pickaxe, this is what we're going to need if we're going to go hunting for iron. But first, we have copper. Once again, copper may generate in full blocks of its raw ore variant, as you can see on the left and the right. And once again, it is also more common to find in stone than in deep slate. And it will drop looking like the little item in the center that everyone likes to call beans. Although I think they're rotten beans, because I've never eaten beans that color. Copper generates with a peak around level 58, and has bonus chances to generate in dripstone caves. Iron is another ore that can generate full blocks of itself around larger veins. Iron levels tend to peak around level 16, but also again at level 232. It gets a major boost to generation in mountainous areas. Lapis Lazuli, I will never figure out how to say that word. Lapis Lazuli, I don't know, we're going to call it Lapis, and then maybe before the next guide, I'll finally get around to looking up the right pronunciation of this one.
Lapis Lazuli.
But Lapis generates at all levels below sea level, and has a small peak around y equals 0. Lapis is used later on for the enchanting mechanic. Now our goal today is going to be to get to iron level. But once you do have iron, a lot more options open up. Gold is the final ore that can generate raw ore blocks of itself. Now gold, in most cases, you are more likely to see in deep slate, because the maximum peak for gold ore distribution is down at y equals minus 16. However, in Badlands biomes, gold can generate at all levels. I mentioned in the crafting video that redstone is essentially Minecraft's version of electricity. Well, in case you were wondering, this is what it looks like, in deep slate on the left, in stone on the right, and as an item in the middle. You may notice a particle effect around the redstone. If we actually walk over it, particle effect increase, and it will even emit a small amount of light. This is an indication, sort of a clue, that as to what we might be using redstone for. As far as where to find it, it's deep. The peak for redstone is basically at the bottom of the world and can generate only as high as level 16, so you won't see it in stone very often. Emerald is an incredibly rare ore, as not only does it generate only in mountainous biomes, but when it does, it only generates as a single block, and not as an actual vein. So deep slate emerald ore on the left is actually one of the rarest blocks in the game. There are other ways in the game to get emerald. This is not typically a block you're going to specifically go mining for. And of course diamond is the goal of every Minecraft player, as it will help them craft the best equipment possible. Diamond, like redstone, can generate anywhere below level 16, and it maxes out at the bottom of the world as well. Now when the time finally does come, and you're able to craft a diamond pickaxe, you will finally be able to mine obsidian and crying obsidian, which is in the center, and is also a light-emitting block. To the right of the diamond is the netherite pickaxe. Netherite is a very special version of tools, weapons, and armor that is an upgraded version of diamond. That's a topic for a much later time. But Just know that when it comes to comparing the two, in general, they are the same. The true difference between diamond and the upgraded netherite is actually the durability. A netherite pickaxe will be able to mine many more blocks than a diamond pickaxe will. Now, I definitely realize that it might be strange to hear me talk about Y values. But if you look in the upper left corner of my screen where it says position, you'll notice as I descend down this hill, I'm going to take damage, oh well, that my middle number is decreasing. We're going to get hurt again. Oh well. So in Minecraft, sea level is here at level 63. This is right where the water will come up to the land, where oceans generate, and most normal bodies of water. Water can generate up higher and also down in caves and stuff like that. But in general, sea level is at level 63. Your position is 3 coordinates, X, Y, and Z, or Z, depending on where you're from. But when we're talking about mining, you're most concerned with your Y coordinate, the number in the middle, and that is your altitude. Now, the bottom of the world is down at minus 64. And has a few layers of blocks called bedrock that cannot be broken in survival mode. This is to ensure that players don't fall out of the world. On the other hand, the world's build limit is at y equals 320, giving players quite a decent amount of room to make their creations. Coordinates in Bedrock are part of the game's heads-up display overlay in the upper left-hand corner, but on Java they're not part of the heads-up display at all and are accessed through the debug menu. By pressing F3 on the keyboard, the debug menu will be shown, and you can look for the word block on the left-hand side of the screen. I'll highlight it for you, and once you've found what you're looking for, you can press F3 again to toggle it off. Well, we're going to go ahead and cut this one here so the video doesn't get too long. Join me for part 2 when we talk about actually getting your mine started and just some of the general tips and tricks for mining. I hope to see you soon, and thank you for watching.